You are listening to the Savage FINcast, episode 117, Fancactus Sharkout.
Chicago. A criminal mastermind called Overlord held our city in his terrifying grip. Ordinary cops were losing the battle against Overlord's super freaks and mutants. Then, a miracle happened. When I found him, he had no memory of his past. I helped him find an identity and a life. Now we have a fighting chance. Now we have the dragon.
This is the Savage FINcast, the show that wants to make one thing perfectly clear. They don't collect action figures, they buy toys. My name is Jim Purcell.
I'm Craig Olson.
I'm Raven Perez.
And we welcome you again to another episode of the Savage FINcast, the internet's only podcast dedicated to the works of Savage Dragon by Eric Larson, now celebrating 30 years.
10 years of Savage FINcasting.
And 10 years of Savage FINcasting, yes.
Did you plan that to be approximately 1/3 as much of...
Is any of this planned, Raven? I'm
right.
pretty sure we just bang things together and this happens.
Just like our parents made us. That's how we make this show.
We don't have any news per se for this episode, but we do have a lot of emails to get through because it has been a while since we've done a quote-unquote proper episode of the Savage FINcast. The last few have been retros and the big interview episode. So we do have a few backlogged emails to get through.
Yeah, our old FINteresting conversation, just to set the tone, was, do you think the current arc of Savage Dragon should do away with the vicious circle for good? Or do you think they should stick around for the duration of the series?
And keep in mind, we posed that question before this issue came out.
Yeah, we had no way of knowing how hilarious that would sound in light of current events. But let's dig right in. Yo, pandemic survivors, here's my reply to the question about the relevance of the VC in Savage Dragon. No, I don't think they should be put to rest as they are now. I think the current plot with the leadership of the Vicious Circle still up for grabs has to be resolved. There's room for one more solid story arc with the VC front and center. So basically, not yet. I'd like to see Bronze Man get involved in the VC leadership drive. It could serve as a vehicle to determine Paul's standing in the book, as well as give Malcolm a new antagonist, or maybe ally for all I know. I agree with Craig that the more recent storyline involving Dart's takeover of the VC and the sheer brutality and ruthlessness of her rule was unexpectedly cut short by a bullet to her head. I had wanted to see some kind of brawl for it all involving every super freak, good and evil, including Dart, but Mr. Larson evidently did not share that view. Also, I think a historical look back into the origins in the early days of the VC would make for an interesting story. That being said, I'm hoping that the upcoming issue 264 with the story of Paul may touch on the historical VC, albeit in Paul Dragon's parallel reality. Anyway, great job on the latest cast. Great banner as usual. Hopefully you guys start banging out some FINcasts more frequently, Jim. And I will start a Kickstarter for some retro FINcast content if needed. Keep on keeping on, Tony Michelandra. P.S. I know you guys are gamers, Jim and Raven at least. I've not heard you guys mention Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding. What's your verdict if you guys played it? Is it a glorified walking simulator? Or a decent adventure game worthy of a playthrough? Personally, I enjoyed it, but it has more than a few flaws. Just like my sentence pronunciation there.
All right.
Craig,
Take a seat, Craig.
You guys got 30 seconds.
Well, I'm sure Raven hasn't played it because he doesn't have time for games that big.
You want to know what's sad? And this is really like extra hilarious. I was, my folks are super into Walking Dead. And so my mom in particular like loves Norman Reedus. So here's this game, Craig. I'm drawing Craig in. See, Craig wasn't interested, but now he's in.
Okay, 30 seconds is up. For the next letter... No.
Basically, the long and short of it is they scan Norman Reedus into this game. So it's him, basically. It looks just like him.
It does
It's
look
got his
just
little,
like him.
Yeah, it's got his little weird face zits and everything.
And his ass.
Well, I was showing my mom. I was like, look at this game. It's crazy how games look. And she's like, wow, this is incredible. And then she bought me Death Stranding for Christmas for like a system I don't own.
Typical mom move.
Yep, so I'm an adult, and I got Death Stranding for PlayStation. I don't have a PlayStation. So hilariously, Tony M., I own Death Stranding. I cannot play Death Stranding, and that's my review.
Now you can sell it and feed yourself for a little bit.
For
Now,
today's prices, like one fast food meal.
Yeah,
I know, I did think about it.
Basically worthless now. I've played 2 hours of the game. Raven, do you know those parts of like early 2000s 3D platforming games when you get on the balance beam and you got to hold like two buttons to keep your balance?
Yes.
So Death Stranding is the game.
Oh, God.
And I didn't care for it very much. I mean, it's got the weirdness that Metal Gear is known for, but that's never been the real draw for Metal Gear for me. So I'm the guy who likes the gameplay.
Yeah. Gotta be having fun, right?
And it is not Metal Gear Solid 5. I will say that.
You'll never get to the story. Like the thing again for Craig and for anybody who doesn't give a shit about games, the thing to know is Hideo Kojima is world famous for his stories. And he's world famous for loving Hollywood. The guy has a boner for Hollywood. In fact, this game is full of Hollywood celebrities and directors, right? Conan O'Brien and Guillermo del Toro were scanned and are put into Death Stranding.
Although it's funny, Del Toro is actually kind of funny. They scanned him in for as a character model, but he doesn't actually voice his own character.
Yeah, it's weird. But like, here's the thing. The main thing is it's like, dude, you can tell the best story in the goddamn world. If people don't like your game, they're never going to learn
Well,
your
the thing is,
story.
a lot of people like Death Stranding. I mean,
a lot of people hate it.
I understand why they like it, but it's just not for me.
It's very divisive. All right, that's 30 seconds, Craig.
You got that out of your system?
But
Good?
But
Too
Tony,
bad. We're moving
Tony,
on.
to be honest, we don't talk a lot about video games on air, but we definitely talk a lot about video games off air. And, it's just, this is not a video game podcast, so we try not to bog things down too much with the video game stuff.
Plus, Craig fucking hates it if you
You guys are
didn't
doing a
notice.
good job of it, though, so let's keep moving on.
See,
Hold on. One thing. I did want to say I like and
Jesus
agree.
Christ.
No, I like and agree with Tony's viewpoints and ideas. I think he's got some cool ideas on Bronze Man. Dude, I'm a Bronze Man proponent. I'm like proponent. I don't even know if that's the right word. I'm pro Bronze Man. If he shows back up, that's so fucking awesome. I just had to say that.
I agree.
Now we can move on.
I was going to say pro bono, but that doesn't quite work.
That's when lawyers work for free. I know that. Proponent? That's right, right?
Proponent is a correct term, yes.
Yeah.
Real word.
Craig, if you will.
All right, next letter. Hello, gentlemen. Once again, I appreciate the work you guys are doing. I'd like to see more of the transition to more of Malcolm's villains, but I do agree with Raven. I like Mako or Fako, but Shark People are always cool villains. Malcolm's Rogue Gallery is what I would like to see more of an expansion on. I cannot say enough of what your podcast has brought to me for this title. I'm glad I got back into Dragon, and I have loved Eric's work since Spidey, and thank you guys. The other Big Jim, James Sheehan.
Thank you, good sir.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. I definitely want to see more Malcolm-esque villains. I do like the Vicious Circle. I do like seeing some of the historic guys pop back in and out, but I think we've said this time and time again.
Malcolm's
it'd be
just
nice.
got to stop fucking murking him.
Yeah. Be nice to get that build-up of the Malcolm era villains that are more than just kind of background guys or one-and-dones.
I'll tell you where it really hits hard, like this letter and this particular moment in time. We're doing the Savage Dragon reread, and I'm on we finished issue 50 like a day or two before this recording, and just that picture of Dragon on top of the heap of iconic visuals.
Oh, the cover there, that's
Yeah.
the homage to the Spider-Man issue.
Yeah, it's just man, you see that dog pile of really amazing iconic villains, and you just think to yourself, I know Malcolm has guys, right? I know he does.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he doesn't have any guys. I don't know.
But there's 8 good ones on the cover at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying I don't think Malcolm could even make a heap.
No.
Not like that.
I mean,
Not ones that are alive anyway.
Yeah, he can make a corpse heap pretty easily.
I think you did that in your your Super Freak story.
Yeah, that was the whole premise. Yes. Next letter. Hey, Fin friends. I would like to see the Vicious Circle stick around. The group holds so much potential for interesting storylines that it would be a shame to see it wiped out. For example, I think that the current storyline involving Insect taking over as caretaker for Billy is one of the best in the title. It leads me to wonder who Insect is. What are her powers, her motivations? Was she born a freak, or was she bitten by a thermonuclear potato bug? For that, you can ponder who all these other VC members that mainly show up in the background of battle scenes are. Not every member can be motivated by power and the desire to lead. Who is there for protection? How many had nowhere else to go? What are their powers, and who makes their super suits? There are so many stories you can tell. I wouldn't be upset if an entire issue or two of Savage Dragon featured a member of the Vicious Circle as the story focus. So I say keep the group around and flesh out its members. There's an asterisk here. It says the phrase "flesh out its members."
Copyright
and trademark.
Oh, that's what I see. It's copyright Raven Perez, used with permission. This is from Ken Dalbury. Thanks for the letter, Ken.
For the listeners, Ken worked on the Super Freaks comic. He did the story about Bug.
Yeah.
So he's definitely got an affinity.
Insect, Craig. Insect.
I'm sorry, Insect.
Oh, well, we won't need to make this mistake again after this issue.
Yeah.
Oh, the timing of this letter.
The timing of many things, Raven. The timing of many things.
Absolutely correct. I just want to say it's so funny in the Facebook group, in the response for this issue, Ken replied, I can't wait for the next issue when we learn about Insect's healing factor.
Or lack of. Although, we don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know is what's funny. Insect's an absolute blank slate, really, so...
We don't know what's underneath that latex.
Maybe
suit.
she will. Maybe she not molt. What's the other word? She'll metamorphosize into a lady.
What if she's just made up of a million spiders or insects and they just pour out of the suit?
Oh, that'd be great.
Like Spiders Man?
Yes.
It's fucking awesome. Yeah, what's funny is, I forget which stance I took last time, but I will say that I agree with Ken that the VC is absolutely fertile ground. It's funny, it's not that they would ever need wiped out because they're not fertile ground. I think it'd just be... I feel like, didn't we more or less sort of they're played out. But there's shit tons of potential. I don't know, would you guys read an all VC or a VC...
I mean, absolutely. I would read issues of Savage Dragon where Dragon or Malcolm never show up in. Absolutely. But that doesn't seem to be something that Eric would ever do because he's never done that before.
Correct.
Yeah, well, he's done it when it was She-Dragon's book for 4 or 5
But
issues.
wasn't there still Dragon stuff? Even right at issue 51, there was something going on with Johnson that was Dragon related.
Yeah. Kinda, and then he would show up in the mirror eventually or something.
Yeah, he showed up in the mirror.
Did he show up in the mirror in 51?
It's very soon, not 51, but 52.
But is someone talking to Johnson at that point? I'm not doing the reread right now.
I am. Here's what happened. It's so funny too. Eric uses thought balloons, just Johnson's thought balloons. Period. Before issue 50,
right?
And it's just you see William thinking to himself. Then post 50. William has thought balloons, but they're kind of like egging him on to do stuff, like tackle a bad guy and things like that.
I see.
And then you come to realize in the next one he sees Dragon in the mirror and he's like, hey, big guy. And you come to realize that the thought balloons were Dragon in his mind.
So even in the first issue where Dragon is quote-unquote dead, he's still quote-unquote in it. So...
yeah, as thought balloons, yeah.
Technicality.
Yeah. Only really gone for one issue is what's so funny. I wouldn't have known that except for the reread. But
Which kind of illustrates my point. Eric doesn't seem to want to do that where you have an issue where your main character, your title character, isn't prominent, or at least
it is kind of weird. I don't know.
I mean,
there are many.
I mean, it's.
I don't know if I've ever read one there.
Oh, I've definitely read Marvel and DC comics that like point the camera at somebody else for a whole issue with the title character as like a ancillary character at best.
Well, yeah. I mean, what we just talked about is what it is. What that was.
What?
I mean, Dragon was in it, but he was an ancillary character at best.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. But I'd
read it.
But his eagerness to get back to Dragon at that time suggests to me that he wouldn't want to be away from Dragon for that long, which is why the Vicious Circle really should have its own spin-off title.
How about I guess with the kids they didn't have their own. The book wasn't.
Yeah, it was every other
Malcolm?
Every other every other 2 pages was back at the ranch.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. Shall we move on?
All right,
We
Raven,
shall.
you're at bat.
listen, Sotiris, my man, I'm not depriving you of the voice for any reason other than the sake of brevity. We simply must power through these letters. So, forgive me, good sir. No voice this time. It doesn't mean it's retired forever. It just means I got to do what I got to do. Hey, Super Freaks, just wanted to say congrats on that labor of love requiring a Mylar bag rather than a condom, a.k.a. love glove. A one-shot as opposed to a money shot. Seriously, though, thanks for that shout-out in the bullpen page there, Craig. Whereas I'm but a humble letter hack, Super Freaks was a love letter to all things Savage Dragon. While this podcast celebrates the freakishly fertile talents of Eric Larson's fecund imagination, it also honors the collective history of people's lives, not just collected comics, but shared memories of what it means to be a Fin addict over 30 Image Comics years, and just as special, 10 Savage FINcast years. Thanks to the puissance, par excellence of its three main powerhouses. I'm not surprised Larson wanted your proposed fanzine to become a published book, given the quality that everyone involved brought to the table. It was super fun seeing all three of you contribute, as well as Savage Dragon superfan Nick Justice, who I believe was on your very first embryonic episode of the podcast, if memory serves. Raven, as for your monumental multiverse maelstrom, your art style is appealing as it is immediately recognizable. I love the wordplay and visual of the giant ant, and especially enjoyed the deft finishing touch of using the French word fin to get your desired Dragonverse end result. Craig, your offspring of Dragon as a cop nostalgia stood out among the diverse stories in all the right ways, taking us back to the germination of the sprawling magnum opus that is Savage Dragon. Jim, you proved yourself to be a very accomplished wordsmith, capturing metaphorical lightning in a bottle, albeit on paper, or in your case, digitally. If only I could charge your phone. Shazam indeed. If only it could charge your phone. Shazam indeed. Fucked up. All right. That said, hearing you get a little tongue-tied at the end of the podcast had me a little worried. Perhaps watching all that women's curling has adversely affected both our brains. Still worth it. And with that, I take my leave of you fine gentlemen. Sincerely, Sotiris Gravis, P.S. Speaking of anniversaries, I turned half a century this year. When feeling depressed about being an old fart and too old for comics, I just remind myself that Larson turned 60 this year, and I feel like a young buck again. Jim Valentino turned 70, for God's sake, which brings me to my question. Craig, how does it feel knowing that you'll have crossed that same threshold, emphasis on old, by the time Savage Dragon 300 finally comes out? Fingers crossed. Spawn will have reached 400 issues. PBS comic books, especially characters that shoot water, not lasers, out of their eye, are my fountain of youth. So how do you like that? Mr. Olson, I believe you were asked a question directly.
Just, I gave him a shout out in that bullpen page of Super Freaks, and then he ends it like that. And although I don't you'll be pretty close to 50 by the time Savage Dragon 300 comes out, I imagine.
That's true. So, at this rate, yes.
I don't know how I'll feel, dude. Like, I still feel weird at 45 now. So,
feel young, don't you? You don't feel old.
I do feel young, but I feel weird saying that I'm 45. I feel young.
Yeah, the funny thing about being in your 40s is you still feel like you're in your fucking 20s. Like, you don't feel decrepit. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, 40s don't feel bad, but I feel like once I start saying 50 and up, that feels weird. I don't know. I guess I thought that about the 40s, when I was in my 30s, so I guess it just, whatever. Who cares? Nobody.
I mean, Satyrus cared. He wrote about it.
True.
Hey, listen.
I like how can I comment on how like you nailed all of his vocabulary words, but then you called it, what did you call it instead of a fanzine?
I said fanzine.
No, you didn't.
Where I fucked up is I said if only it could charge your phone.
Nope.
And I said if only I could charge your phone, and I'm like, God damn it!
I swear you said like fanzine. I swear. Roll the tape back. You said fanzine.
Listen, if I said fanzine, it was malpropism. You know what that word means, Satyrus Jr.? It means I said it wrong on purpose. So I'm just saying, fanzine. I know what I said. I just can't say the word it. That's all.
You said fanzine. I just want you to know.
Stephen King's famous horror clown movie, I. God damn it.
All right. Should we go to the next letter?
Not before we say thank you for all your kind words on Super Freaks, and thank you for listening, and thank you for writing so consistently. We really do appreciate your letters.
Yeah,
we do.
It's
Thank
awesome. It is a highlight to read a Satyrus letter.
It is very fun.
All right. Savage Fin Dudes. Just writing to congratulate you guys on the release of Super Freaks #1. As a day one Savage Dragon fan and a listener of the podcast, I was really looking forward to checking this out, and it was, dare I say it, so much better than I was expecting it to be. Everyone came through and knocked it out of the park. Just fantastic work from everyone involved. This book is a rare example of an anthology that is all thriller and no filler. Honestly, I couldn't point to a single strip or pinup and label it a weak link. Once I got through reading it, I was going to write and request/demand that you dedicate an episode of the podcast to make the making of Super Freaks, only to discover that you've already done it. It's almost like you guys know what you're doing. Now that I've listened to that episode, I realize that this comic is even more awesome than I originally thought. There were so many cool things pointed out by the contributors that I missed on my first couple of reads. I hope the book sells well enough to warrant a second installment. If not, then I hope the next time Eric does another anniversary issue of The Savage Dragon, he gets all of you guys involved. I'm not into variant covers at all, but even I would rather see alternate covers by the likes of Scott James and others than some A-lister phoning it in. Anyway, congrats again. Great comic, great podcast. Stephen Newbold from Reading, England. P.S. I made my own Savage Dragon comic just for the fun during one of the COVID lockdowns. It's set in the 1970s and is done in the mighty Marvel manner with lots of homages to the great Sal Buscema. It's up on my Instagram, which he says is snewbold70fn6 for you listeners out there. I hope you get a kick out of it. So I did look it up. I found his Instagram page, and he definitely has some cool Savage Dragon related posts, but I could not find the strip. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Maybe you guys will look it up after the podcast and see if we can find it. But,
yeah, I'll check it out.
Maybe Steven can write back and let us know if it's not up or something, or if it's somewhere else we can find it.
Thank you for writing, Stephen. I mean, geez, that's awesome praise, and we appreciate the hell out of you listening to the show and supporting Super Freaks.
Absolutely. And I'm not sure if there'll be a second installment.
Yeah, it was kind of like...
It's not the sales that would matter. It's more of kind of a one-and-done thing.
It was really a miracle is the thing. Like, that it came out so good. Like, I don't want to say that it's all downhill from there, but I'm just saying that, like, man, we got lucky.
Yeah.
We got super lucky that so many amazing people, just the planets aligned, and so many amazing people were able to just give their talent and time away
for free.
Yeah.
And it was all good. I mean, because you all know the adage about, if it's free, to not expect a whole lot from it, for the most part. But, I mean, I guess part of it, though, we knew who we were dealing with, and, it was all huge fans of Savage Dragon that really wanted to do this. So I'm not surprised at the end of the day when I know who was involved, but I'm just surprised that it all came together as well as it did.
Yeah, I would honestly be intimidated to try and do anything like that again, just because I feel like the next one would have to be slightly deficient.
It'll be on our 20th anniversary.
There you go. We'll give it 10 years. I'll be 50, and you'll be 55. Did you say dead?
Could be. You never know.
Hey guys, thanks for all those amazing letters. That absolutely fucking rocked. We do have a new FINteresting conversation for you, Jim.
Oh, for me? Yeah.
Just for Jim?
Yes.
I mean, Jim, please ask it.
All right. So, given the events of 262, which long-standing character, characters that have been around for a period of time in Savage Dragon, not recently, recent ones. What long-standing character would you personally kill off next? And which long-standing character would you prefer never die? No list, just pick 2 characters, please, just to keep it manageable. We were just wondering.
Just wondering.
Just wondering.
Make sure you send your answer. You can either include it in a letter or just send the answer in an email. SavageFincast@gmail.com. And we'll read it on the next episode that we have a FINteresting conversation.
And gentlemen, I'm very curious.
Mm-hmm.
Who goes and who stays?
It's a very good question, because you have to think about, like, who's dead right now and who's alive. That's the tricky part.
Yeah.
All right. So, for me... See, this is hard.
like
this is actually really hard, because I'm thinking of like 2 characters I'd prefer that would never die.
Cheater, can't do it.
Cheater.
I gotta make a choice on that. As to who I would like to see dead, the bad news is the character I was going to choose is now dead.
Hortus?
No, Larry. Fuck Larry.
Why all this hate for Larry?
Fuck Larry. Fuck him.
What did he do?
What didn't he do?
He's a douche.
What didn't he do? He said. Fair.
You know what? I would like to see. Do you guys have any ready to go?
I like how he's stalling. I would like to.
Well, I think the character I would like to see never die is Powerhouse.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah,
I think Powerhouse is just such an interesting character. That, and design-wise, that he should be around forever.
Offspring of the gods.
Yeah. I would say I would like to see... man, you know what? I think it's time to put Super Patriot in the ground.
Sure.
I think he's had his course. I think he's done his bit. He can rest now.
You know he turns 101 this year, right?
Yeah, he's did it. He done it.
You see, the thing with Super Patriot is he's just Eric's second most famous character, so I can't see him like doing that.
Yeah, that's super true.
And the fact that he can age forever because he's like mostly robot at this point.
Well, and his torso is super soldier and his limbs are robots. So basically, he can live as long as you want him to.
But I believe the question was, who would you like to kill and who should never die? It wasn't why can't it work? Don't pick apart choices.
You're right. Let's just not discuss this.
Yeah. No interesting conversation to be had.
It's
here.
FINteresting.
No discussion or conversation. It's not FINteresting.
Why you got to be a gatekeeper, Raven?
I don't mean to be. It just happens. Well, no, you're right. I think it is kind of funny because it's like Super Patriot. I get where you're coming from. He's kind of had a crazy moment to shine, really, in the book in a while, which kind of is it's a little rough because he's a really amazing character, and he's kind of been riding the sidelines, and yet, like Craig said, he's one of the dudes that's probably immortal. Really, he's probably never going anywhere.
I just can't see it just because based on the character, like outside the comic, like just as popular as he is as Eric's creation. But I could be wrong. Who the hell knows? Eric surprises me all the time. But I do agree that he's kind of run his course in a way.
I feel like
he's had miniseries. He doesn't do much now.
I feel like we've missed like the period where he would have been the most interesting, where he was being a mentor to all these young heroes.
Right.
Like we saw,
But we don't.
Like we saw briefly in that backup with him and Mighty Man. Like
I was about to say, pump your brakes though, because like the thing is that we don't have to have missed it. Like that's the thing. It's kind of like the VC being fertile ground for storytelling. Like Hortus just kicked the bucket. Her daughter is a young superhero. You got Mighty Man, who's a young superhero. I'd hate for that to be relegated to a backup drawn by someone else.
But that's the thing. It's just that it would need a series, and I don't see that happening, and so that means we're going to continue to miss it because there's no venue for it.
You know what? I'm shocked. I'm shocked that we didn't get to see him eating cake on his 100th birthday.
Yeah, I thought his 100th birthday would have been kind of a cool excuse for Eric to come out with like a Treasury Edition Super Patriot comic or something.
Yes.
Kind of like the bicentennial Captain America. Treasury.
Yes.
All right, that was what I was going to mention. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No,
that would have been cool as shit.
I totally agree. I get it. Listen, here's the thing: is I understand that the reality of it is Savage Dragon is a title with low sales numbers. I get that, but you want to know what's not a risk? Digital content. If you have a Super Patriot, like
I have advocated digital first spin-offs for decades at this point.
Yes, digital first, and if it doesn't succeed, digital only. Like the thing is just do it Kirkman style, where it comes out digital, and if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere, and if it doesn't,
wait. Does Kirkman do that?
Kirkman did it. I don't know if he still does it.
Okay, so he did it that one time for Tech Jacket. I don't think he did it that often, and that was almost 10 years ago now.
Yeah, he didn't. I think it was only Tech Jacket.
I think it was just Tech Jacket. Now, but that's the thing. That sort of initiative has always interested me because, I mean, there's numbers that show that digital sales are still not close to print sales, and so it's not always the best plan. But you gotta prime that pump somewhere if you want to make it viable.
If you never try, it'll never happen for sure.
Right.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, imagine a 100th birthday collection, digital only. If digital's all that ever happens, digital only, where it had like a beginning and it had an ending that were original pages. Not even much. It could be like 5 pages at the beginning, 5 pages at the end, or something like that. That's 10 pages worth of work, and then just sandwich some old Super Patriot shit in between. And then have it be like treated like almost like a flashback of his life. Like, oh, these are yours. Let's celebrate your life. I don't know. Maybe no one gives a shit. Maybe people would like it. Nah, whatever. you got to fucking
have a conversation with yourself.
Yeah, it sounded like he did.
You got to fucking try. That's all. I'm just saying.
I think we've gotten into the weeds here. You guys still haven't answered the question.
Craig, you go first.
All right. For me, who lives... I love Barbaric too much. It would be too heartbreaking for me to see him go, but I don't... I mean, he's getting old, but he's just a lovable goofball, and it would be weird to see him die in the book. It would definitely hit me pretty hard if and when that happens. So I wouldn't mind him sticking around for quite a long time and maybe dying of old age.
See, he was actually my first thought of who to kill.
Really?
Of course.
Really? Why?
But then I decided breaking up Ricochet and Barbaric wouldn't be as good of an idea, so I didn't go with him. I don't know. It's actually, I would say I'd kill him because for the same reasons you say he shouldn't die, honestly. Because he's a good guy and he's a lovable goofball and all that. It'd be super tragic if he died.
Oh, don't get me wrong. It would make good reading. I just, it would be a tough one to swallow. He's like always, he's kind of like Dragon's unofficial, like, right-hand man, I feel like, you know? Like, between the cartoon, him on Freak Force, and on the police force, and on the SOS, it seems like him and the original Dragon had a good kind of chemistry. Even though it was bad chemistry, it was good for the reader.
Sure, yeah. I think why I would hesitate to kill him, because what's funny is you guys talking about killing him. It's like originally I was like, yeah, Barbaric. But then you leave behind a sad spouse character.
Right.
And I was like, I don't like that.
Well, there's nothing to say they both don't end up going in some crazy battle or something.
True. But no lists. We're only killing one. So
no, I know, but I'm just saying if he ever did it in the book, it's not to say that it wouldn't be just him alone.
True. Who's living forever? Who gets a golden ticket?
I don't know, dude. This one's a tough one. I gotta say maybe Killcat, because I can't see anyone replacing him. Like, you could replace a Mighty Man or, I don't know, even maybe a Super Patriot or something. You can't replace the character that's Killcat. There's just not... It would be weird if there was someone as dumb as Killcat that would fill that costume. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, anyone could be Mighty Man, or, you know, we've had multiple darts. I just feel like the stupidity level with Killcat is like something that would be weird if he was ever replaced, and I don't want to see him leave because it's super awesome comedy.
Fair. Jim, did you ever do Who Should Never Die?
Yeah, Powerhouse.
Oh, Powerhouse. Did you do you would kill?
Super Patriot.
The funny thing, there's not that many long-standing characters that are still alive when you think about it for the book.
True.
So Raven.
Mm-hmm.
You've stalled long enough.
Who's dying?
I would kill Daredevil.
Okay.
Because I just don't think he ever reached any kind of...
He's your Brad.
I don't think he reached any kind of potential. Like
I totally agree with that. I wasn't even thinking about him.
Yeah, he came into the book and kind of like... He is an awesome visual. I mean, like...
Well, I feel like Tootsie kind of filled his role.
Big time. I feel like Tootsie was the successful Daredevil. I feel like Daredevil came in and it was like, oh man, cool. He's a cool visual. He's got the spikes and the duotone costume and the boomerangs and all that stuff. And surely the immortal blood with the little wise guys stuff was cool or whatever. But the coolest thing Daredevil ever brought to the book was the little wise guys getting hacked up and stuffed down a garbage disposal. That was literally the coolest thing Daredevil ever brought. Other than that...
He was supposed to be like a Captain America, Boy Scout, drink milk at the bar kind of guy.
Yep.
But that's all he kind of brought. It was, I don't know.
He was the representative of the Golden Age characters. He was the guy. He just kind of embodied all of them, I would say.
The man out of time, that kind of thing. But what's so funny is, as you guys pointed out, Tootsie just fills all those roles and so much better.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
he's got little kid sidekicks. He's disgusted by our modern era. Like, oh, you people are sick, like fucking.
He's got a catchphrase.
Yeah, he's got exactly. He's got a catchphrase. He's got an iconic visual. Like he can do so much more. Where he's like a genius, but also strong. And it's just like he's everything that Daredevil never was. So Daredevil, you're getting the axe. Who should never die? Well, that's quite easy. Maxine. She's already got immortal blood. She's never gonna die. And I like what she brings to the book. And I don't give a fuck if people hate her or not. Fuck you. You suck. Maxine rules. You can go to hell if you don't like Maxine, because she's going to be around forever, baby.
So you assume she took it?
Oh, yeah, dude. She wants to look hot and sexy forever. Get out of town. You know she drank that fucking shit. Are you kidding me?
Well, the good
Why
news
would
is
she?
the good news is it's the good kind of immortality.
Yeah, the
Didn't,
kind where you
wouldn't
can
freak
die.
out take that away?
Sorry, what, Raven?
Wouldn't the freak out take that away?
Well, it would, but she would have to take it. What did you say, Raven?
I said, why wouldn't she take it?
No.
Like,
I said
what?
I thought you responded to my saying the good kind of immortality.
Oh, yeah, the kind where you can die if you want.
Yeah, you can opt out.
Yeah.
But did she take it after she took the freak out or before?
It was after she took freak out after she became
The dragon.
Dragon in 250, right? Not 250. 225. When did Dragon die? I can't remember. When did she become a dragon?
Ooh, the listeners are hating this shit because they instantly know.
Or was
and we
that
don't.
or was that to heal her after? That was to heal her after the attack of the demonoids. So
Yeah.
so actually,
I think she took the immortality juice after.
I believe she took
I
it
thought
after
it was
as well.
before, and she took the freak out. But
I have to check PJ appearances on the wiki.
Here's the thing, sweet babes. Doesn't matter because it's my opinion and she gets to live. Woo, woo, woo. But, like, seriously, jokes aside, like, the thing is that, I am reading Savage Dragon reread, like, reading those old issues. There's always been a slight kinky edge to Savage Dragon. There always has been. Always. And what's so funny is, as I read these old issues, goddamn, most of the time it's Dragon. Just a kinky bastard. He's always wanting to plow. Everyone he meets almost.
yep.
And so it's so funny because, like, it's just like even the reading that where he nails Rita like it's nothing. Oh,
Well-
he's just working his way through the police force.
But that's the cool thing about Savage Dragons, because he totally flipped the script and made, Malcolm's girlfriend / wife, the aggressive one, and now Malcolm's like nothing like his dad.
Dude, it's hilarious
When it
how
comes to that.
nothing like his dad is. Because, like, whenever Rapture and Dragon have that proposal thing, his whole thing is baby fear. Like, fucking all the funny visuals that came from that, like with the kids just dropping out of Rapture's suit and stuff. And Malcolm didn't give a shit. He had to force them and knocked every single girl up and raised all the babies. No big deal. So, yeah, man, I like what Maxine brings to the book. And I think this book should be free to explore that space that it always has. And I think it's cool to have a character that just does that. So, yeah, man, Daredevil, you're dead to me. Maxine, you live forever.
So PJ gave Maxine his blood in 241, which was after she took freak out.
Raven memory for the win, baby.
Sweet.
But, there's no confirmation she actually took it. But is to be implied she may have.
Well,
Okay.
she is still...
I guess we will know in 20 years when she hasn't aged a day.
There you go. Well, thank you, fellas, for that conversation. And dear listeners, please give us your two characters. Who would you kill? Who would you have never die? No lists, please. Just one of each. And I don't know about you guys, but it feels like I haven't had meat and potatoes since January.
It does feel that way. Has it been that long?
No, we did an episode in April.
Of Savage
Lies,
Dragon?
then.
Pretty sure. Am I
Maybe
wrong?
Ant. Maybe Ant.
Maybe it was Ant.
Let's take a
Yeah,
look.
Well, we haven't had a
yeah,
new
yeah,
issue
yeah.
in how long?
It wasn't. I think Dragon was January, wasn't it?
That doesn't
Well, we
sound
still
right.
had meat and potatoes during that Anna episode, so technicality.
I'm just starving is all. February. February was when we did Savage Dragon. Nope, that's wrong. That's a Dean Haspiel interview. Okay. Yeah, February 3rd. We had 261, and now here we are.
It has been a long time. I didn't realize how long it had been.
Ant-flavored meat and potatoes, they just don't do it.
So I remember talking about this cover a long time ago. It's pretty fun. Of course, it's a sequel cover to the previous cover with them coming through the window, and now they're in the fight. It's kind of fun that way.
Mm-hmm.
I like it a lot. I like the shading.
Shading's interesting. Yeah, it's got you see the really cool shading and the texturing that the coloring does. It's great.
Scorched Earth.
Anytime you get to see my man Paul on the cover, main eventer Paul, I'm down for it.
It's like he's bopping Roughneck.
Who has legs? might just be Roughneck's legs, right? Well, think about this cover. This cover's full of lies. There's Roughneck's legs, and there's Samurai and Insect. Lies, everywhere lies.
Well, you draw these covers about a year before you do the issue. You're gonna get some inconsistencies.
It's true. It's fair enough. You are correct, sir. Yeah, we flipped the page and we got an awesome. Man, the break did Eric some good or something. The visuals in this issue
Yeah.
are just fucking on point. Like page after page of killer visuals.
Yeah, it's great to see Mighty Man. It's great to see Mighty Man drawn like so many times instead of just like a couple times.
Yes. Love Mighty Man.
You know what? I will always appreciate the fact that Eric committed to keeping the lightning bolt on Savage World Mighty Man instead of going back to the Starburst. I never really liked the Starburst.
Me either. The Starburst is inferior to the lightning bolt. And the mullet, ugh.
Yeah, that's true.
The mullet, after reading Vic Bridges, is it Vic Bridges? What's Vic's last name?
Yes.
Vic After reading Vic's Mighty Man, when I see the mullet Mighty Man, I just get PTSD.
Wait, does Mighty Man have a mullet in the 90s? I actually don't recall.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'll have to look
Very
more closely next time.
Very Superman with a mullet. Yeah. That car, I know, is photo referenced, and I don't even care. I love it.
Yeah, it's cool.
I love the scratchy effect along the bottom of it. I love the little cartoon angel.
I love the splatter exhaust.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Shout outs to our man Nikos there. So good, dude. It's just a good actiony pose. Like, what's funny is negative space. It's not something you see a ton of, in an issue, but we're going to see some awesome use of negative space in this very issue. So good, dude.
It's just... I don't know. I can't stop asking the question, why does Angel have this car?
Because she works for the SOS and she's got money to spend. I don't know.
Maybe it's you're right. Maybe it's like a shield flying car in disguise.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a spy car.
You're talking about this slick 50s ride?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what.
That looks like it costs about $500,000 on those auction TV shows.
Here's the thing. Reread shining through brightly with every comment I make. Remember Alex's fucking car?
Yeah.
Like
The old Chevy with the flames.
Yeah, dude. I'm just saying. If you're going to photo reference a car, photo reference a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you imagine, Eric, he goes to photo references in one of these, super boring-ass nondescript cars we have these days? You put two side by side, they're both silver, both of them look identical.
Right.
So this is all a follow-up to, I believe, must have been last issue, where Angels are racing back to the States with Malcolm's blood in tow in order to save Horridus' life from COVID. Mm-hmm. Mighty Man, of course, showing up to intercept, to get it there even faster. Why the world's mightiest man couldn't just fly to Canada? Who knows? But
it's, I guess, implied that like Horridus took a turn for the worse, and he needed to go get it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so she was stable for a time, and now she's on her deathbed.
Yeah, that's right. Angel even says, I was driving as fast as I could. I thought we were going to meet in Chicago. And Mighty Man's like, nah, we don't have time. Like, she doesn't have a lot of time left. Like, I got to come and get you. So.
No, just great to see Mighty Man flying around.
Yeah, dude, I love all this Mighty Man. Give me as much Mighty Man as you can.
It's probably old news, but it looks like Angel's lost all of the weight.
Yeah, there's a shot of Angel's face where she's kind of like looking like, more mature than ever. Mm-hmm. It's kind of cool, dude. It's kind of cool. Like the one where she's like, I have Malcolm's blood right here, that panel. Kind of cool. It's a good mix-up of like traditional Angel, yet, I don't know, she looks a little matured.
Right.
Maybe I'm crazy. Hey, guys, you know what I like? This faded, angled page in the background.
Right. That acts as like a flashback to what we saw previously that Maxine is describing to her friend.
Yeah, on first read, I thought it was just like a TV image, but it's the full page kind of on an angle.
Mm-hmm. It's cool, man. I like it.
And I like how she acknowledges that the whole sticking the needles in the tongue thing didn't really work.
And wasn't necessary.
And wasn't necessary to begin with.
Janice. It says we saw her in 228, but in what context did we see her? I don't remember.
220. I don't know. It's Maxine's friend. I don't really recall.
225 for listeners. 225 was like 5 years ago.
Well, it says 228.
No, I'm just saying like 220. It's only 3 issues later. Like I'm just saying like that. Last time we saw Janice was probably about 5 years ago.
That's true.
What's so funny.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't remember if I thank God for this box. I wouldn't know who the hell Maxine was talking to.
Wait a minute. Weird. Okay, so it says. Oh no, 228. Yeah, that was the first time we saw her. That was back in the Seeker issue. So I don't.
You blacked that out.
I did, yes.
I always like the kids, just getting up to foolishness, and little Maddie hanging out by Maxine. There's progress there, She's talking, and Maxine's not scared of her. All that good stuff.
That's true. That whole thing about her being scared of Maddie seems to have passed. I guess because Maddie is now smart enough to know her to know. Wait, what's the word I was about to use? To know pain and fear, right and wrong.
Right? Yeah. There you go. Yeah, Maddie's not a dumb baby anymore. Is what you mean to say?
Yeah.
Stupid little baby. Yeah. Janice throws a major swerve here. It's like, wait a minute, doesn't the vicious circle know that you're Malcolm's wife? What if they're looking for you? Are we in danger? Doesn't go anywhere, but I admit it had me.
I mean, that's why you keep your superhero identity secret, so your loved ones don't get killed in the park. It's like rule number 1.
What's Malcolm going to do? Put on glasses? Can't do it, dude. Listen, when you flip the page, tell me that's not Homer Simpson catching a foot in the face. Shirtless.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, I see what you're seeing.
Shirtless Homer?
I'm pretty sure that's Pucker, though.
Is it Pucker?
Yeah,
oh.
I think so. This page just kind of shows you, and I think they even said it, they're down to the dregs of the vicious circle. So many of, these guys are just background throwaway
we
characters.
got Thanos, and we got Wolfman, and Pie Filling, and...
Pie Filling. Malcolm's joke is hilarious. Pug Fugly. Is that guy's name?
Yes.
And then he talks about reading about them on the wiki.
Yep, it's definitely Myotis, and Myotis is the bat guy.
Bat guy looks cool, dude. I mean, what the hell? Is he a long-standing VC guy?
Yeah, but basically like a background guy. Like, I don't think he's ever had more than a couple of panels.
Well, so was Morgor until he had his awesome moment.
Right.
Craig, you okay?
Am I okay with what?
You seem not impressed.
About Morgor?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. What should I be impressed about? Morgor is the guy with the fro, right?
Yeah, and then like trap jaw mouth.
The one that... What was his catchphrase? It wasn't bro. It was... What do you always say?
Dork.
Dork.
You dork!
That's so weird.
No, it's good. I love this splash page, man. And again, it's just hilarious to have Malcolm and Paul, fucking kicking ass while Malcolm's just sort of making fun of these guys for being losers.
Good old Mr. Faces.
Jim, do you think that Split Head's like pie filling up there? Do you think it like explodes out? Is it gushy? Is it hard? Like, what do you think?
It's probably pus filled.
It reminds me of those toys that you squeeze. And then...
Oh yeah, the globules push out.
Globules, good word.
Globules, dude. It's perfect. Ugh. Who's the dude with the like mouth hands? Is he a recurring
Mr.
guy?
Faces?
Mr. Faces? Oh my god.
He's got faces on his knees, his hands, his shoulders.
They are in the dregs, dude. Hey, it's the fucking insane hotness? This next page. God damn. This next page is so fucking awesome.
One of my favorite pages in a while.
Mm-hmm.
The poses.
Yes, dude. When I talk about like the awesome use of negative space, I just mean like, all that like just Eric knew he didn't even need a background for that like top panel, finger quote panel. It's all in that pose, like where Vane has that badass torso twist. Ooh, it's so good. And then the middle section where the panel is like flat, almost like it's a segment of floor.
Right.
Oh, it's so good, dude. And then,
I remember when I saw this for the first time, I was texting, and I don't think Jim read it, and he was like, no, don't spoil anything. But I was like, I couldn't wait to talk about this page.
Yeah.
Because just the poses we haven't seen. It's so funny when you look at it. Like, you don't see Vane's face once.
I was going to point that out. You don't see her face, and that's like one of her more iconic features.
She's such a cool looking character, though. No matter what, like.
Yeah.
But I love that middle panel with like Malcolm getting like flipped, or him jumping and flipping and pulling her down.
Do you think Vane is an immortal character because she comes from the cartoon?
She may be, dude. She looks like she hasn't aged a day. Not that you see her face, but like...
I mean, like, she just seems like a character that Eric would be unlikely to just kill off. Of course,
what's interesting? What's interesting is in this issue, you get to see some aged VC goons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll get to them when we get to them, but I know we don't see her face here, but Vane doesn't seem aged to me. I think she's probably like one of those immortal type goons.
It's probably all the veins. I mean, how would you tell Vane is aged? Her face is all scarred up with veins.
Her hair. She'd have less hair. It's thin.
You
Female
can't tell that.
Female pattern baldness. It's just a good ass page, dude. Craig, you put your finger right on it. It's like just the pose of Malcolm, the pose of Vane, the flow of the action. It's just fucking good. And even
it just follows right on to the next page.
Yeah. Even the like 2022 continues to disappoint. It's so funny. And like you said, dude, this next page, the way Paul's doing the wind up.
Yeah, so much like power in that. It's so cool. Can we just stop for a sec? Just the inks though on everything. Mm-hmm. Like the third panel of the Malcolm Vane fight. Mm-hmm. The inks on Malcolm. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just something going on. Like if it's some Sienkiewicz style or Sienkiewicz or however you say his name.
Yeah, you got it.
Something going on there that's just like, it just looks different and it looks awesome.
It's so funny. Again, I'm so sorry, listeners, for bringing up the reread, but I'm reading those old issues, and as good as they are, like, goddamn, dude, modern Eric does crazy experimental shit like this, where it's just like choppy, thick black inks, and then like weird Sienkiewicz style cross hatching, and just
like he's putting his foot into her head into the ground, and you see everything popping up off the ground, like the power in that panel.
Mm-hmm. Even the way the lines are like, cut up into his thigh, just adds to the like downward momentum of his like stomp. Oh, it's so good, dude. So go back to that volcanic page. Wow. Just
good stuff.
That wind up, dude. That wind up on Paul.
Blarf.
Like
the wind up, the punch in that second panel where she's like flying backwards.
Just bowls into all of them.
I love it. Yeah, and then you just see everyone flying from different angles, upside down.
It's fucking just the loser doesn't even have a costume. He's just in like goddamn hoodie and jeans. Oh hell!
Like even look at like the kind of cross hatching he employs on Volcanic in that third panel, like the checkered kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So strange, so cool.
It's strange, but it's cool. And again, it's just one of those things where it's like, man, like even in Paul's shadow, like look at Paul's shadow on the ground. Like you see that same kind of like Spider-Man webbing, almost cross hatching.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, it's just visually interesting,
The hats off to Nikos on the coloring of the punch of the Power Glove, how the pink reflects onto Volcanic.
Yeah. Yes, dude. Or even the way like the barf, the volcanic barf, is like lighting onto the metallic arm.
Yeah.
And it's so good, dude.
Such good details that you just, I don't know, that a seasoned person would do and you wouldn't see, or someone that actually gives a crap, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you just don't see that kind of coloring all the time.
No, it's just fucking TLC on every page, man. Even this page, this next page, where it's like Mighty Man like coming down and like flying into the hospital. Again, there's just a shit ton negative space, but like look how strong the figure on Mighty Man is,
dude. So it's a pose that's kind of a throwaway pose, but when you look at that, Eric just, I don't know, just the inking on that, the thick inks and the shading under the cape, the coloring of the cape, it looks awesome to me. It looks so cool.
Even the shading on the inside of the hospital door.
Yeah.
The way it starts thick and gets thin.
Yeah, yeah. And just the hatching style is just strange but awesome.
I mean, I guess like here's the thing is like this is going to sound elitist, but it's not. Here's the thing. Like we live in a day and age where a lot of comics are created digitally. And a lot of creators, they don't even see the value in doing like hatching, and they don't even see the value in like doing kind of like stuff like that. Like they like gladly just throw a brush on and just swipe through, and then you got kind of like a generic uniform like hatching. And I'm just saying that like, man, this kind of like traditional media, just like experimental, weird, different thicknesses, kind of like inking, it just creates visual interest for scenes that even wouldn't necessarily demand it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Mighty Man, the panel is Mighty Man flying down a vial of blood to a doctor. Why should that have any kind of amazing visual panache? In a normal comic, it wouldn't. In this comic, it totally fucking does.
You know, the funny thing, looking at all like these past 3 pages that we've been reviewing, you know, before 250 or 249, I guess maybe it was 249 or 248, I'm not sure, but somewhere around there, he wasn't doing any of these type of panels. Like, this all disappeared, like, after the Savage World, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all these wacky kind of side, like, you know, panels with pink borders, you know, crosshatched panels or whatever you want, the scratchy looking panels, the angled panels. It was all very classic. And it's like, wow, I forgot, like, there was a huge chunk where he didn't do any of these panel experiment type things or like non-traditional panels. And I love it. I'm so glad he brought it back.
Yeah, he's going fucking berserk with it, dude. It's great. It's a visual feast. How are you guys feeling when you saw Hortus? Like when they were like, she's dead.
Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Hortus. I think her visual is awesome, but I'm just kind of done. I was done with her. I'm like, I don't know. I'm okay with it.
I was somewhat disappointed that Moore wasn't done with her in her like motherhood period, because I think the few times we saw her, it was made her the most interesting she'd ever been. Because I also never really liked Hortus, except for maybe her visual back in the old days. I just found her personality kind of one note. She just didn't seem to have anything going on. But
we hadn't seen like her daughter in forever.
Right.
Yeah, dude. Like,
so she
Dixie.
It's unusual, but for Savage Dragon, but she felt expendable, I guess, and so it didn't really hit with any emotional note at all, to be honest.
I had the exact opposite reaction. I was like, whoa, like, god damn, dude, like, especially, I hate the break sequence, but especially the little, like, panel where you see her dead. I was like, whoa, dude, like, god damn, like, Hortus is dead. Because although she may not have been, you know, a character of great complexity or whatever, she was comedy relief. It'd be like if Killcat died in a sad
definitely
way.
a long-standing character, too. I mean, one of the, you know, big originals.
Yeah, like exactly. Like, to me, she throwing away Hortus is as iconic as throwing away Super Patriot. Like, it's like, damn, you have like given up one of your iconic visuals, right? And I know he's got her daughter, but like her daughter has a different visual, and so
I think it's a good impact though for what the story is trying to say, and it kind of like, you know, if he's trying to say, you know, COVID's dangerous, what better way to show it than have it affect an iconic character? And it makes sense for her because she's kind of an idiot.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, well, I guess if anyone was gonna die of COVID, it'd be fucking anti-vaxxer Hortus, apparently. Which, it creates some interesting fucking things, because wasn't Lightning Gal or Lightning Lass also anti-vax?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like there you have some Freak Force, like, anti-vax sentiment, like, even within the team. So it's just, it kind of hit me, dude. When I saw Hortus's, what's funny is it didn't hit me. I don't want to jump sequence too hard, but like when he was like, I have the cure, it's right here. It didn't really hit me on that because it's like a far away establishing shot. When you see her like up close face, like dead, yeah, I was kind of feeling a little bit sad about it. Not gonna lie.
Right.
My man Braun, though.
He's starting to age, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got the Clint Eastwood lips.
It's some chapstick.
You know what it is? They underestimate he's got that old man strength.
Dude, he's still cool as hell, and I love Like, you just see him jump on the scene and he's just taking out both dragons. Boom.
And then,
so cool.
As if that wasn't enough of a feat, just turns around and just fucking shits down the throat of everyone who loved the Power Glove.
Yep. Gave it a good old runch.
Yeah. Oh, Lord, dude. Fucking Braun is such a badass. But apparently, he's just a fucktard.
I love that off screen. It's like, hey, fucktards. And you're just like, who the hell says that? Oh, it's fucking Mako.
Throwing the legless roughneck like a projectile.
At such a force that it knocks everybody on their ass.
Yeah, dude.
With a Bracathacoom.
Even Chaos and Control sent flying by this. Look, he's just a little torso, like under the K and under the th in Thacoom. It's just a little torso bullet being hurled into the crowd. Oh, it's a ridiculous entrance, and I love it. It's so fucking awesome.
So many good shots. That Mako shot coming in. On the, so good. Just slices that Myotis guy in half with the karate chop.
Just gives him the old... Yeah, I guess fucking he is
entrails everywhere.
I guess his ass is dead. I mean, you ain't coming back from that. I don't know that guy's powers, but...
Say hello to the new and improved Mako, the Sharkman.
Guys, he had himself a makeover.
What a dork.
I
still hate this guy.
Makeover.
You don't like Benedict? Benedict Milhouse?
No.
I think he is establishing himself as quite a fucking badass. I mean, Mako was like strong and deadly, but like, goddamn, he just never had drive. I mean, he was like
he wasn't he ate people, so he may have been a psychopath, but he wasn't a psychopath.
Just a plain old psychopath.
Yeah,
just a regular serial
he
killer.
ate those who deserved it.
Like Super Patriot?
Yeah, exactly. He left him alive.
He did. That he did.
He didn't eat
Maybe
him.
he left him for dead. Yeah, man.
I mean, it is great to see a Mako-esque character doing Mako-esque things. Yes, visually impressive. Yes.
So not a fan, huh?
I am still not a fan of this turn of events. I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of Faco.
Admit it. It's just because of the blood.
It's just because he's just Mako again.
No, dude, he's way stronger and more badass.
He's
Are you
not,
kidding me?
I don't think he's way stronger. I mean, Milhouse was just like a regular dude. I mean, he's got the same abilities as Mako. He's Mako.
He's way more savage.
Yeah,
yes,
that's about it, really.
That is it. Like, listen, hold on. If this issue doesn't convince you that Mako the Shark Man is better than Mako the Henchman, then I don't know what will.
Well,
Look
no,
at him, he's kicking ass left and right, dude.
The best Mako is the one who put on the fast pack and flew into Dimension X like a fucking superhero. That's the best Mako. And then got to be with Dart until he fucked it up because he's Mako.
I can't. This guy's a G. He might be a serial killer, but he's a brutal bastard.
One thing I've always disliked about Savage Dragon in all these years is Mako's arc after that whole period. Is I just never felt that Mako capitalized as a character on top of what he was given. I guess
he should have been king of Atlantis and come back.
It's not that. I think he could have reformed. I think somewhere along the way he lost his chance at reform. And I guess him falling back into his old ways never really sat right with me.
He was just always a guy that just had bad luck.
Yeah. But even that, I didn't feel got played up enough. I mean, he got played up a couple times, especially like when Malcolm and Angel killed his mom. Because I blame them for that.
Question. I didn't get a chance. My shop failed me and I didn't get the print edition.
Yeah.
Who has the print edition on hand here?
1, 2, 3, not it.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Craig, is that Runch in the panel where Mako's eating the dude? Is that look stickery to you in print?
Yes.
All right, I was going to say, Jack Morelli, you're doing a fantastic job, actually, and this whole issue is full of beautiful sound effects that have tons of personality. Like, are you kidding me? Like, the barf has its own unique look, from the Thraka Coom on that exact same page to the Ram to the Runch to the Bracca Coom. All of that looks fantastic. For some reason, that Runch, it's the thin lines. It's looking mighty stickery.
Yeah. There's a few like that, but
It's not egregious.
no.
Just saying. Just throwing it out there. So we get to see Sarah dying, which means nothing to you cold-hearted bastards. You just looked at this page of sad, dead little Sarah, and you just thought, it's time.
I feel bad for Anne, is who my emotional anchor is in this page.
More than the dead character? Okay, I get it. I feel bad for her, too. Boy, I tell you, this is a bad plan. Like, what the fuck were they thinking?
Yeah, there might need some more human trials before. This is why Larry sucks, by the way.
Fucking, he
This
sure
is,
does.
This is the absolute cherry on the top of Larry Bradford.
Larry went out like a goddamn fucking shit show.
Because here's the thing, I recall Larry here having previous bouts of megalomania. In fact, I think there was a whole thing about the immortality blood at some point that he seemed a little overeager about.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think
You're right. Larry was always a douche.
He was always looking for shortcuts.
Well, he paid the price, dude.
Oh,
We took out poor Anne with him. Bastard.
yeah.
We can't get too far ahead of ourselves. Goddamn, dude. How about this page? A fucking, like... I'm sorry, dude. Look, Mako's a G!
Okay,
Biting
so I think you need to understand there's a separation between the visuals looking great. Visuals look great. Looks amazing. Looks fantastic. And me liking Faco. You know what? I wouldn't mind it if he looked like anything else. If he was still shark-like. He just looks too much like Mako. I don't care for it. I don't like it.
How do you feel about Old Man Control?
I don't know. Chaos Control is one of those situations where we've always presented the character as being quite powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, it's never clearly defined how strong he is. Getting his throat ripped out by Mako is cool visually, but I don't know if I buy it. He seems like a tough customer.
You want to know what's funny? Is when I read this, my first thought was, oh, fuck, bro, no!
It would make a lot more sense if instead of going for Chaos's throat, he just bit Control off the top of him. Because he's a soft squishy
And then he
target.
just goes wild. Chaos
Yeah.
just goes nuts.
Yeah, something like. I mean, that's happened before.
Yeah.
I think
I feel like Chaos and Control is their cool visual, and they had that one issue where it was like they squared off against Savage Dragon, but it's kind of hard to draw it as like a background side character. For me, like it seems like he either has to take center stage or not. Like to remain a background character is too much.
Yeah. You know, although we do have an interesting situation that I don't think has happened before. Chaos might be dead, but Control might still be alive. Can Control do other things? Control other things?
Walk into walls.
Yeah.
Can he jam other things into those eye stumps and control them?
Yes.
You know what? I'll take the bait and say that there is an interesting dynamic there. Like, is there some other fuck? Because what a weird combo creature.
What the hell is the
anyway.
origin story there?
And by the way, his eyes look like buttholes or something. It's just like he's got butthole eyes that control things. It's so weird, dude.
And
he
then,
just fell on top of this demon and realized he could control it.
Like, if Chaos and Control got hit with Freakout, what would be their end result? I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, is it two dudes?
I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to think if maybe they were affected by the Nega Bomb back in '74, but I can't recall. I don't think we see that.
Don't think so.
This is a badass page anyway, because there's like the purple guy with horns with just his goddamn guts out.
Yeah, I mean the slaughter is great. I mean these guys I can totally believe get their fucking asses ripped because they're jobbers. They deserve this.
But Jim,
Cross-Eye, he's like yellow on one panel. Now he's back to his pink color.
Jim,
What's up?
when I read the fucking like Braun getting stabbed in the throat,
Yeah.
I was like, uh-oh. Is it Craig that doesn't like it, or you?
No, it's me.
I was like, uh-oh, a strong guy's getting stabbed.
I've always just found it odd that in Savage Dragon, strong guys are apparently susceptible to sharp points, and I guess I understand the idea behind it. I think Eric's described it as kind of like Kevlar, where blunt force doesn't do it, but if you hit him with a sharp enough object, it'll push through.
And a block a bullet, but not a knife.
It's because I guess it's the slower speed. I don't know. It's odd to me. It's just when you're this strong, you have to be tough enough to not take damage from what you're applying pressure against, and I would assume that would make you as tough as a tank. And
Even a tank can get pierced though by other tanks.
Well, I guess my real thought is that the material the stabbing implement is made of would fail before their skin does. I guess is my thought process. It's chaos. It's Chaos's horn getting shoved into Braun here. Why doesn't the horn disintegrate on impact?
Maybe the horn is super strong too.
I guess
Yeah,
that's
the
what
horn's strong.
I guess that is the assumption that has to be made here. And again, it is cool. It's just and it happens so often. I shouldn't be surprised by it or disappointed by it. But it's just such a weak ass way to die. I guess.
Listen,
Visually, it looks cool though. He's just freaking bleeding from the throat.
because look, he's as surprised about it as me.
I was very upset. I was very upset when he got that horn in the throat. I was like, "Oh goddamn, no, dude!" Like, no. And then the hits just keep on coming.
Dude, he survived getting turned into a dragon.
That's
Like,
my
pushed
other
back.
thing. He totally remember that was one of his coolest moments was when he was dragonized and everyone else was exploding around him, and so he just kind of concentrated and all the Chosen One blood poured out of his eyes.
It was the most badass Braun moment of all time.
Because
He's had some good moments though.
Because to me that implied that he's so tough, he's so strong that it forced the impurities out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the blood, like it went to explode and it couldn't overwhelm him, and it just fucking ejected it from his body. I still think you can get stabbed though. Like, I'm sorry. I still think that like no matter how tough you are, like no matter how like they can cut diamonds, right? Like I'm just saying, like I just feel like Braun's not as tough as diamonds.
Okay. Fair enough. Clearly it's true, as it happens in the page.
What are you guys thinking when you see Ian and Larry dragonized?
You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, dude, dread.
I gotta say though, it is dread was exactly the correct thought, but I thought people affected by Freakout had a little bit more time to get affected by Chosen One blood had a little bit more time to get the Freakout injected into him. This seems to have not only become airborne, but also become more rapidly, like the effects happen a lot faster.
I think that's the implication, is that the COVID...
Well, I don't... Can you tell that? How do you know that?
Well, because we know from experience that you can get injected and you last a few minutes. I mean, you got
a little time.
Going all the way back to what's his name? I forget his name. The first guy who ever turned into a dragon. It was
yes.
He was paralyzed by Mako. I can't.
Phil Dirt.
But I think they're saying it's mutating the COVID, and so it's turning into something different. So it's causing the dragon blood to react faster and becoming airborne. It's something because it's mixing with COVID. It's screwing it all up.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a cool twist based off what you know of the dragon blood. Is kind of like dragon blood will yield to any kind of like superior genetic thing, right?
Right.
Like, for example, Rapture's lightning was maintained, into Malcolm. Mako's shark stuff went into Barry, Like, so we know that, like, dragons, like, chosen one blood will totally yield to something that it deems, like, superior or whatever.
Right.
And so it's kind of crazy that, like, when it got in this dude who has COVID's system, it was like, oh, cool, well, we're airborne now. and transmit fast as hell.
Right. Which I guess also causes dragon transformations faster.
Yeah, because in order for this to make sense, like this whole situation has to have happened in like a few minutes. Just everybody in the hospital getting infected.
Yeah, it seems fast enough that they transform even between like words. Like, oh God, he exploded. I don't understand, Larry. Oh God, it's like it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like quicker than ever, quicker than we've ever seen in the book.
It does raise a few questions for me. If this was a terminally ill COVID patient, so presumably he had a lot of COVID in his system when the freakout hit. But if that's the case, why don't Malcolm and the Dragon Kids cause this to happen if like they come into contact with COVID? I guess because it's not as concentrated, it gets fought off before it's concentrated enough to become a problem. I mean, I guess all the scientists who would have figured this out are dead, so I guess we'll never really know exactly what happened.
I think that's a safe assumption, though. It's like when the germ enters their body just overpowers the germ like it would poison or mind control or anything else that we've seen the dragon system go. Whereas the blood, in this case, is being injected into an environment where it's like, hey, we're going to pretty much...
they're also chosen ones too, so they have that superpower or whatever that
it's the physiology too. They're also Krillians, right?
Yeah,
that's kind of like whereas these are humans.
That's true. These are humans.
Like no human has ever been able to withstand the blood in the first place.
That's true. Yep.
All right. Yeah, we figured it out. We cracked the case.
I will give it up for Braun. He does put up a fight even with blood pouring out of his neck. So he does go down fighting, which you got to appreciate.
That's what makes Braun so fucking awesome, is he goes out like a G. He fucking totally bodies Mako and then collapses the building with the bodying. Just dragging him along. I'm like, oh yeah! He died awesome is what I'm saying. Who is this Toad character?
New character. Now, to be fair...
No, not new.
Not new. Oh.
Been around since 216. Camilla Toad. Carmella Toad. Carmella Toad.
I'm pretty sure...
It's one of the best things I've ever seen.
I love it. I do love it.
Dude, 216. I want the listeners and you guys to go back and look at your issue 216.
Mm-hmm.
She made an appearance in 3 panels. It's freaking awesome. It's her in that split head guy, like pie head or whatever, rob a bank. Malcolm, as a cop, stops him. He knocks out pie head or split head or whatever, and you see Carmilla Toad running away, but you only see her patented purple shirt and pants. Her head is cut off by the panel, and she's running, and she's like, oh, she's holding a bag of cash. And then Malcolm throws Splithead at her, which collides into her, except for when they collide, there's like that little like shorthand explosion kind of, I don't know, the way you draw something when they collide together. And
yeah,
so
like
you
a
can't
burst
see her
effect.
head. Yeah, a burst effect. So he collides into her, the burst effect, and you never see her face, ever.
Now that you mention that, dude, I remember us talking about that on the FINcast. Where I was like, who is this bank robber?
Yeah.
Like, you never see her face.
Come to find out, she's got a giant fucking toad head.
That's awesome, dude. That's fantastic.
I thought it was pretty fucking funny.
No, dude, thank you for doing the research. That is fucking hilarious. I thought she was a new character.
Well, pretty much. We've only ever seen her from the shoulders down.
So,
who the fuck thought she had a fucking toad head?
Question. Would you?
No. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Not even just to say that you did?
No.
Especially
Right.
so I say that I did.
It's not like she's going to kiss you and give you the tongue.
You don't know that.
Ugh, that's so wild.
I will say that, like, fucking her burn on Samurai is the funniest shit ever. Where she's like, it's going to take more than sucking up the dart and flashing your beaver at everybody. So funny, dude. Acknowledged after hundreds of issues. Acknowledged that someone else saw it and didn't like it. Hey guys, you may think that this Sput and this fucking airborne fucking COVID hospital horror show is the main event of this page, but do you notice who that newscaster is?
Is that R.R. Richardson?
Sam Hayes?
That's our man Sam Hayes.
Oh, it's Sam Hayes. Yes.
Still kicking around, dude.
Yep.
Old as hell.
And we see Dixie back for I don't know how long it's been.
Fucking finally. Listen, question. By the way, I do think there's something to my little lightning glass was an anti-vaxxer. You see the horror in her face.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, fuck. Like, I caused this.
I love how Eric, even though it was like 3 different darts, he has the ability to make them look different. And you can definitely tell this is a younger, more childlike dart, you know, like a teen.
Yeah. It's good, dude. I mean, all these... Look at Barbaric. Like, look at the expression on Barbaric's face. It's so fucking good, dude. Question: do you think Dixie's going to be smart or stupid?
Well, she wasn't raised by she wasn't raised by television, so she'll probably take after her dad.
You think Sarah was only stupid because of television?
Yeah, sure. She was stunted because she was left chained in a basement for most of her life.
Was never raised or taught properly.
Right.
I just thought she was just a stupid person. Like,
There's
yeah,
no
that
such
was
thing
where
as-
she
there's
started.
No,
but
there's
she
no
was-
such thing as just a stupid person, Raven.
Yes, there is, dude. Come on, be honest. You don't have to be nice. You've met stupid people.
But no.
I've met stupid people, I will say that.
I gotta say, the part that makes me sad about this issue is Anne's death. Now, granted, it wasn't the original Anne, of course. It was the Anne we've known, but I've known this Anne for a long time because I started reading in the period of time of that when she was reintroduced in the Savage World. So for me, this is kind of my Anne. And sure, she made some bad decisions marrying Larry Bradford, but I always kind of liked this version of her because she was a lot less sure of herself in this universe because she didn't have the early on training that she got or the experiences. But to lose her in this fashion is quite shocking, and to see her daughter's reaction as Mighty Man among Freak Force here, I find it interesting that Eric didn't revert her back to her human form or her little girl form for this. But
I think it hits more because it's
Right.
Mighty Man. You know, I don't know.
All the dialogue, can I just say, at this point I've read this issue like 3 or 4 times. All the dialogue foreshadows the sequence of events so well, dude. Like, right down to Angel being like, give Sarah a hug for me. Superheroes aren't supposed to die like this. Like, just everything foreshadows this moment, and it still hit me like a ton of bricks. And
It's crazy looking at this panel of Freak Force. Like, 4 out of the 7 members now are all pretty damn young.
Yeah.
And I like how Mighty Man looks really young.
Yeah,
kind of matching the character.
It's cool, man. I think it's a cool and crazy thing. I think it is like neat to see like the older guard in the background with the younger, like, you know, Freak Force members in the foreground. I think there's a lot of like storytelling without actual like writing, you know, because like the two people that are orphaned are hugging each other. Yeah. Meanwhile, the other anti-vaxxer is in the back looking like, you know, it's a different reaction, you know, than everyone else. Everyone else is just shocked. It's good stuff, dude. Real quick before we leave this, question. Sam Hayes postulates that the virus has burnt itself out without victims. I wonder, has Savage Dragon just gained an incredible new bioweapon? In the book, I mean.
Wait, when you say Savage Dragon, oh, you mean the book has gained? Possibly.
Yeah.
If anybody manages to actually isolate it, possibly.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, here's the thing. Listen, I mean, let's talk comic book science here for a moment. If we know nothing, we know that the Chosen One fucking, like, genetic material or whatever is tenacious. It survives, right? You think it really burned itself up in that hospital without a host?
Yeah,
you think
I believe that the answer to that is yes. I think that this, in order for, you know, life to go on, it has to have burned itself out in this fashion by doing it so quickly that it had nowhere to go.
I think regular COVID can survive on a surface for like 24 hours or something like that, right?
Right, but this isn't regular COVID anymore. This is something new.
I'm just saying. I think
chosen COVID.
They're calling it the Dragon variant. I think that there's a chance for a really scary weapon.
Well, I mean, the what's required to create it isn't that hard to make. Just get Malcolm's blood and find a COVID patient. So it's
that's right.
So it is dangerous in the sense that it is easily replicatable.
And here's Sam Hayes blasting that shit all over the news.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Oh, goddamn, dude. That is a whole nother twist I didn't even think about. Whoa. Because there's all kind of, the whole world's sick with COVID.
Right.
Goddamn, dude. That's crazy. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good twist. Huh.
So the fight continues.
Yeah.
And we get to see our boy Braun make his last act trying to kick Mako's ass.
Just running him along the ground. So good.
Yeah, so if he wasn't stabbed in the throat, do you think he would have wiped the floor with Faco?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Look at how much he's doing one-handed. Totally bodying his ass, dude. Just fucking running him all over. I'm pretty sure that it's like the building collapsing on him combined with having his throat slit.
Yeah, maybe he would have lived.
Yeah, I mean, he probably would have been okay if he could have, like, seen a doctor or something. You know?
Can you fix this hole in my throat?
Yeah. Fix it quick.
Man, this has got to be one of the best collapsing buildings Eric has ever drawn. And he's drawn a few.
Yeah.
The way he's got it imploding on itself is just very cool.
Mm-hmm. Coming down in chunks, isn't it?
Yeah, like Jenga tower coming down.
Yeah. No, it's very cool. You want to talk about cool inking? I mean, if you look at like the black shadows on that building, I mean, it's just big, simple black strokes, but like just the way it creates volume.
Right.
And shout outs to Nikos too, just the texture work on this. Just Fancactus. Fancactus.
Fancactus.
Fancactus, dude. No, it's good. It's just, goddamn, this is a good issue.
And we get to see some of the survivors here too. So it kind of tells us who made it and who didn't.
So let's if we can. We got Vane. We got Carmilla Toad.
Yep. We got everyone's favorite Fountainhead.
Fountainhead, Laser Eyes himself.
Her name's
Volcanic.
Is it Volcanic? Okay.
Yeah.
Then there's the green guy in the onesie who has always been kind of around.
Is that
He looks
Vile?
maybe. I don't know for sure. He looks a lot like the Marvel's, was it Radioactive Man? No, it's wrong. What the hell's his name? I can't remember his name either. Radiation.
Who's Flaming Head? Like, who's he?
Newish, I think. I don't recognize him.
Skullfire.
Skullfire, cool name.
And there's a toad-looking guy.
Yeah, who is that wimpy dork?
That's the guy with, he's got a long tongue.
So we got 2 long-tongued people survived?
I think so, if that's who I think it is.
If they don't hook up, then I don't know what's what.
But I guess Control didn't make it.
No, you don't see him here.
Well,
and
you don't know.
If you look, you even see Chaos's body getting hurled around with Control's legs on the Carmella Toad page.
Is that his leg?
Yeah, that's Control's leg, and then Chaos's body. So, like, I don't know if they're, getting fucking killed in that panel or not, but they're definitely getting knocked around. Malcolm is the one. Okay, yeah, follow the action. Malcolm appears to have knocked out Chaos, with a punch or something. Yeah, I don't know. That's what it looks like. So,
okay, you know what? I never even noticed Malcolm behind Samurai there.
Yeah, it appears that Malcolm has punched the shit out of Chaos, sent him flying, and Control coming loose off the top.
All right, I see it now.
That guy name might be Frogman, generic name, but I don't know.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't have a good name, huh?
Frogman.
Good enough. I like that in this same issue where we have the Super Photo referenced car.
Yeah.
We still get those classic Larson Cube cars, including, and I'm not being like any kind of cutesy with this at all. Look at how good that shorthand car on the right-hand side of the collapsing building is. There's just shadows. It's just like a few strokes, but it works.
Wait, the right-hand side of the collapsing building. Yeah, okay, I see it now. Yeah.
Just a little shorthand car, but bam, it's a cop car from looking at it. So Malcolm digs Paul out of the rubble, and goddamn him for confirming that our man Braun bought the farm. I can only hope that Braun is partying with a bevy of leggy supermodels.
No, he's in hell.
You think? You didn't even hesitate. Well, we know...
Just when we thought the carnage was over.
Here's the thing. We know from Spawn that Octopus went to hell.
Yeah.
So, Braun probably is in hell. Yeah, Craig, beautiful point, dude. It feels like the issue's winding down. Hell no. Not a page wasted in this nonstop thrill ride roller coaster.
No, and it's 2 big reveals. I mean, the reveal is that Insect's the snitch that told Dragon where the VC was going to be, right?
Not only Dragon, she tipped off Mako.
Ah, right.
Yeah, so she was playing everyone against everyone. So I said Barry earlier. I'm sorry, listeners. I meant Billy.
Yep, that's Billy.
Yeah.
Barry's the other one.
Barry's Dark World, right?
He was Dark.
Barry got chopped up, right? Yeah, this is an awesome plot twist. Again, I just wasn't expecting a plot twist to any of this. Like Paul says, we got an anonymous tip, and I'm like, all right, and I just accepted it. I didn't think, and when I see Mako show up, what's funny is I don't even think, that's pretty weird timing, but oh well. I just let it go. But nope.
Well, remember, Mako was torturing Roughneck to find out where the fish circle was.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, so my brain, and when he shows up, he throws Roughneck in there, but nope. Apparently it was Insect.
Speaking of which,
you don't know. Maybe she's getting blamed for Roughneck.
Yeah, I'll be honest. She doesn't actually confirm anything Samurai accuses her of.
I gotta say, guys, if she's full of bugs, the bugs in her throat are definitely dead.
What happens if she pulls the mask off and it's some character we know that was like undercover?
Oh no!
Are you kidding me?
It was Alex.
Are you kidding?
It was Alex, and Paul Dragon loses his goddamn mind and becomes a villain.
Listen,
becomes a vigilante.
If there is some kind of plot twist like that, I will shave my head and leave only a fin of hair.
I hope to God it happens now.
I will leave only a hair of Finn, she-dragon style. I simply cannot believe that.
I mean, this is Eric Larson we're talking about.
Well, I mean, God, I don't know, dude. Goddamn. All I know is that I guess it would be pretty cool to see her unmasked after all these years.
Well, Craig, are you saying that she's always possibly has been somebody, or that it's just somebody in disguise right now?
Always possibly been somebody.
Oh, I mean, Insect's done a lot of shit, though. So,
well, we don't know in this world.
There's a lot of undercover cops that do in the middle of stuff.
What if she's William Johnson?
I was going to say, what if she's she-dragon? What's her name?
Amy?
Yeah, undercover for the Vicious Circle.
No way. We've seen Insect use powers. She climbed walls.
That's true. I believe we have seen her
Maybe the
use
suit
powers.
has powers.
Could be the suit, though. You never know. I don't know, guys. If that's
It's
a
too
twist,
far-fetched. And Amy it wouldn't hit anymore.
No, Amy's been out of the book longer than fucking Horridus. Guys, do you think Billy's dead?
I think
No.
Billy's going to fucking eat Samurai, is what my guess of the situation.
So here's my question, all right? We're setting up for a Billy moment. Billy, as a character in the book, there's already 4 dragon children, right?
Yep.
Do you have room in your heart for a 5th dragon baby?
Well, this one's got a...
Does the book need a
shark powers.
Sasuke?
Yeah. yeah.
Well, there's actually more. There's another dragon baby in Dimension X, right?
That one...
Michael Jackson's baby.
Yeah, we saw. I think we saw a fist. I don't think we saw much detail on what that's about.
I thought we saw a baby crawl. After that.
My recollection was it was a lot more vaguer than that.
I thought it was a fist. Yeah. I recall it as a fist. Because remember, I was like, maybe it's Smasher. And the guys were like, it's little.
You know what I've actually recently thought about that I don't think's been brought up at all? Lorella's still on Earth was like a whole fucking institute full of babies, right? That's still a thing.
Yeah, like she's in France or something with just a fucking orphanage full of Krillians. Like what?
To repopulate.
I don't know. All I'm saying is I do have room in my heart for a shark dragon baby. I think it's awesome.
I do think he should come live with them. Yes, I think that would be interesting. Yes.
And if Jack dies, I don't care. Billy can take his place.
I forgot this is Billy. His son was Barry's. He's the son of Barry and Dart and Shart. So he doesn't. I believe he has. Barry didn't have Chosen One powers because Dark Dragon didn't have Chosen One powers. So he's mostly shark. His DNA is really weird.
He's got shark powers.
He's got a shark mouth.
Yeah.
He's just like a shark Krillian. I don't think he has Chosen One abilities.
Or, the other alternative is maybe Faco gets his hands on him and raises him as his own. Little shark family.
A psycho raising their shark dragon. All I know is I think it's cool when you look at the context of how Dragon Chosen One blood, like I said, is kind of like yielded to superior like genetic whatevers.
Right.
Like I was talking about. And if you think about it on planet Earth, shark DNA is like it's like perfect organism level shit. Like sharks haven't changed since the dinosaur era, right? So it's kind of like it is cool as shit that like here's this little like dragon baby with shark teeth.
I'm calling that he saves Malcolm from Mako by sharking out, and we have a Mako.
Did you say sharking out?
I was about to say, he's sharking out.
I love it. It's almost like Morbin time. I'm sharking out.
We get a nice shark versus shark battle.
I'm making out.
Making out. Shark versus shark battle would be fucking awesome, dude. That would be a great way to put Faco away.
Although I can't see him the way Mako's been taking everyone out. How does he have a chance as a little kid?
Fuck no, dude. Like, exactly. Does Faco just bite his goddamn head off? Especially if he doesn't have Chosen One powers. If he's just like Krillian and Sharkman,
Right.
nothing doing, you know.
But remember,
Ignition.
don't forget, Dart was bitten by Mako and gave her the ability to become a big, bulky shark. So maybe he has the ability to shapeshift into a big, bulky shark.
You're saying he could shark out.
Exactly, yes.
I can't wait. I cannot fucking wait.
You
I
can't wait for
dude.
none of this to happen.
It's gonna happen. Here's the thing. It's gonna happen, and it's gonna be better than we ever hoped. That's my prediction. And when it happens, all right, so Billy's going to be like, I'm sharking out. And he's going to become awesome and huge and shark fin. He'll have like the shark fin with the fin will be the shark, fin.
Sure.
But then when it happens, it's like the camera's going to zoom back and Super Patriot's going to be like, man, this is some good birthday cake. And it's going to have a candle on it. It's going to have a candle on it. It's going to say 101.
These are lies.
Hey, listen, that was a hell of an issue. I mean, good fucking grief. That was all killer, no filler. But as if we didn't have enough amazing meat and potatoes in that main eventer, how about this fucking awesome Mighty Man Captain Tootsie backup?
So
Yes.
this backup's great. It originally, I believe, ran in Big Bang Adventures, which is currently ongoing series. This is really fun because the fun part is Mighty Man is, of course, heavily based upon, especially this version, the Big Bang universe, is heavily based upon Captain Marvel, the Fawcett character Captain Marvel, who, of course, was created by C.C. Beck.
C.C. Beck.
And, of course, Captain Tootsie, who is also a C.C. Beck creation. So,
Very good observation, my man. I didn't even think about that. But that's fantastic because we never saw Shazam and Captain Tootsie meet up, did we?
no.
Not that I know of.
No.
So this, in a way, is fulfilling an unfulfilled crossover fantasy. That's
Yep.
this man.
That was my initial reaction, and I feel like that's why this story was told to be that. This Jonathan DeHenry guy does a lot of these Mighty Man strips for Big Bang Adventures and other strips. They're really good. I really like what they got going on here.
Yeah, he is very talented.
I can't remember the original artist that did the Mighty Man Big Bang. He passed away.
Yeah.
And he
Yes.
did an excellent Mighty Man, which was reprinted in Savage Dragon, 50 or 25? I can't
50.
remember.
I just read it. Perfect timing
Yeah.
on this, man. Perfect timing.
Which were also originally in the Big Bang comics and pulled into Savage Dragon. But this Jonathan DeHenry or whatever, however you pronounce his last name, sorry, Jonathan, if I'm messing it up. But he does a good job picking up that torch on that because Mighty Man drawn in the C.C. Beck style just feels right, you know?
Yes, dude. Captain Tootsie drawn in that style.
Yeah, that's that too.
Just feels perfect, dude. He nails it.
He's done a couple of them, or it was. I'm trying to think. Jim, you remember? There's the Big Bang. Did he draw a new cover for this back cover? Was the one that showed up in Big Bang the one with like Captain Tootsie, Mighty Man, and the Night Watchman on the cover?
Yep. And
I love that. That cover is awesome. But I guess because Night
chocolate
Watchman's
candies.
on it. Yeah. that cover is so awesome. I love that cover, but I guess he couldn't use that cover because it's got Night Watchman and he's not reflected in this story. But
yeah,
cool to see the Mighty Man logo.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, everything about this is fantastic. I love the art. I love the story. I love it's a classic superheroes have a mistake and fight. It is crazy as hell to think of Captain Tootsie being strong enough to, like, hurt Mighty Man with a punch. Like, what the hell?
Well, that's the power of Tootsie Rolls.
Fair enough. I love the action, dude. The rocks flying out of Tootsie as he gets smashed into the wall.
I love seeing their spaceship, which is getting more, you saw it in a few panels when he first showed up, but that's the Captain Tootsie spaceship, man.
Yep.
Yeah, already Tootsie's, like, kid sidekicks being better than the little wise guys ever were.
Fatso and Squiggles or whatever.
Fatso and Squiggles. It's just a good ass backup.
It is funny that one of his sidekicks is named Fatso, and that was acceptable.
Well, it's a candy company, too. Like, they weren't even trying to hide it.
Hey, Fatso.
Eat this chocolate, buddy. Get it on down your gob. Hey, fellas, you know how I like to roll. How you feeling overall about this 262? How'd it hit you after so long?
That was a great issue. Fantastic.
It's crazy. Again, the whole writer's block could have fooled me.
Yeah.
Just kill off a few characters, kick over that anthill, see what shakes out.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you would think for him to have, said he felt so, like, writer's block that he thought he was done, and then just come back with a, like, fucking just barn burner of an issue. I mean, just like, holy shit, dude. This one was... I give it a 10.
Oh, a 10.
Yeah, this is everything I want from a Savage Dragon comic. Death.
Fair enough. That's true.
Yeah, death,
No,
crazy
no.
action, art. No,
It's not
all right.
everything that you could want, Raven. There's no
What?
sex in this issue.
I did see Maxine on a park bench. That's pretty hot.
Guess it doesn't take much these days.
Yeah, it's been a while. And then there was the hot, salacious toad. What was her name?
Oh, yeah, Carmilla Toad.
Carmilla Toad. That's pretty...
You would definitely do her with her
Oh, yeah.
little toad head and giant-ass tongue.
You never know. You might lick the back of her head and just trip the fuck out. Is she
Swallow
psychedelic?
you whole.
That's what I'm counting on. Well, what are you guys feeling? Yeah, how you feeling?
I'll give it an 8.
Ooh, okay.
It's-
What are you missing?
I just, for it to be a 10, it's got... You can't just throw 10s out.
All right.
Absolutely
10
not.
has to be like...
You gotta earn them.
Yeah, that's got to be like
Good.
top 5.
Oh my good. Oh, all right. So it's not top 5 if that's a standard. I'll give it an 8.5.
Wow, that's quite the drop.
Well, I mean, if the top 5 is a 10, then the 9 would be top 20 or something.
Well, you wouldn't put this in
I
the
mean,
top
it had
20?
a...
No, because there's other issues I could point to that I liked more than this, but this was still a hell of an issue.
I see. I was going to say 8.5.
My man,
Maybe-
8.5
maybe-
brothers.
Yeah, but I got there. I started at 8.5. You knocked a point and a half off.
Only by your criteria. My gauge was how I felt in this moment in time.
I thought for sure you were going to say like 9.
I just said 10 because I thought the art pushed it to a 10.
Oh, well, I mean, you're an art guy.
Yeah, that's it. Is like honestly, it was the art. It was the death and the art pushed it to a 10 to me. And that's why I gave it a 10. But if you're saying a 10 has to be like just out of this world, like
Well, it's the highest number you could give it.
I can go higher, 11.
You know, I'm not
Turn
actually.
it up to
I'm
11.
not even sure what issue of Savage Dragon I would call a 10. To be completely honest, I'd have to do some research on that.
I have a few. I can't think off the top of my head.
50. 50's a 10.
Okay.
Yeah, 50's incredible.
Okay. There was sex in that one, right?
I don't think there was sex, but there was sexiness. You know, Rita in a tank top, that kind of thing. But that was the one where Hitler's brain comes back. Or 49, I'm thinking. 49 was the one where Hitler's brain comes to claim back the body.
Right.
And it's just like one of the fucking craziest things. Like, it's just like, oh,
So
damn,
40.
like,
So 49, not 50.
49, not 50, but geez, this is hard, dude. Don't make me put it under a microscope. I can't
Okay.
figure it out.
We'll let
It's
you.
very-
We'll let you read
Let's-
every Savage Dragon issue and then decide.
We'll
back
have
to
to
me on
save
New
it for a
Year's Day.
FINteresting conversation. We'll have to
Yeah.
do some studying.
That's a good, interesting conversation. Is what would you classify as a 10?
Let's save that one for when you guys are closer to the end of your reread.
Sure, New Year's. That'll be a good New Year's interesting conversation.
That's fucking long.
All right, I think we
I
should
know.
wrap this up because I am stewing in my own sweat because I can't run the air conditioner when I record these things.
All right, man. Shark attack. Mako, the shark man, is out for blood. Savage Dragon comes with our highest possible recommendation. And that's it.
Mako's always out for blood. That's all he wants.
Did you expect me to say shark attack? Mako's out for chocolate milk.
Oat milk.
Yeah, man. It's good. I think we should let Jim get some AC. How about that?
Sounds good. Thanks for listening.
Thanks everyone for listening. We'll be back again hopefully soon. I got a retro ready to go. That'll probably be coming along next, and we got some other ideas for interviews and such in the near future. We'll see what we can do in that score. So thanks again for listening.
Write in savagefincast@gmail.com.
Yep, we love getting your letters.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.